championship dreams on the line tonight. A season's worth of sacrifice and speed. Now it's time to see who succeeds. 40 hearts beating under the hood. Every racer pushing harder than they should. Searching for an inch, hunting for a lane, risking everything for fortune and fame. The spotter calls, clear high, clear low. The leaders battle wherever they go. The crowd rises up as attention grows. Nobody knows how this story goes. One mistake can change it all. One bold move can make you stand tall. Every corner, every mile, the pressure builds all the while. Feel the thunder burning through the night. 3-1 through the corners on the stadium lights. Heroes made in moments, legends built in speed. This is where the best compete. This is where dreams lead. Feel the thunder, where champions are born, fighting for the checkered flag till the break of dawn. Every lap of battle, every turn of test. Only the strongest survive, only the best. Green flag flying and the side by side. No room left anywhere to hide. Bumpers touching at 200 miles an hour. Every driver chasing that winning hour. The veterans know when to play it smart. The rookies race with fearless hearts. Every strategy call, every pit stop plan can change the fate of any man. The fuel runs low, the stakes rise high. Nobody's willing to say goodbye. The finish line is drawing near. You can feel the electricity here. Feel the thunder burning through the night. 3-1 through the corners on the stadium lights. Heroes made in moments, legends built in speed. This is where the best compete. This is where dreams lead. Feel the thunder, where champions are born, fighting for the checkered flag till the break of dawn. Every lap of battle, every turn of test. Only the strongest survive, only the best. This is more than racing, more than chrome and steel. It's every dream the drivers carry, every emotion they feel. From the backstretch battles to the photo finish line, the memories made tonight will stand the test of time. Feel the thunder, the spotlight shining bright. The fastest drivers in the field, ready for the fight. Heroes made in moments, legends building speed. Tonight another story waits for the world to see. Feel the thunder, the roar of the crowd, the engine singing victory, strong and proud. Green flags waving, the battle now begins. Tonight we'll discover who rises up and wins. The lights are on, the field is set. Another chapter waits to be written, another champion waits to be crowned. The battle begins now. Let's go racing.
The racing capital of the world is ready once again under the towering grandstands of the legendary Indianapolis Motor Speedway History meets speed as Next Level Gaming Community IndyCar Series takes on one of the most iconic circuits in all of motorsports. Every lap around this 2.5-mile oval is a test of courage, precision, and strategy, where every inch can separate victory from a heartbreak. Tonight, these drivers chase more than just a checker flag. They chase their place into Indy racing history. Slipstream battles, daring passes into turn 1, and speeds exceeding 230 miles per hour will push every competitor to its absolute limits. Who will conquer the brickyard, who will kiss the yards of bricks, and who will leave Indianapolis with their championship stronger than ever? Welcome to the Next Level Gaming Community IndyCar Series from the legendary Indianapolis Motor Speedway. The green flag is next. Welcome everybody to Next Level Gaming Community's IndyCar Series. My name is Michael Cordray. Alongside me is Russell Heaton Jr. How you doing tonight, Russell?
I'm doing pretty good. What about yourself, Michael?
I'm doing all right. I'm getting ready for this nice action we're going to have going on tonight here at my home track at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We're supposed to be running, I think, what was it, 130 laps here tonight?
It's a 120 lap race. It's going to be a long one. No, they call it the Indianapolis 300. It's going to be a long one.
Yeah, this is one of their special events and one of the tracks that all these people are looking forward to see. Air temp outside is going to be 80 degrees. Track temp is going to be a blistering 111 degrees. 5 sets of tires, 1 fast repair, and 100% fuel limit. So we're going to see probably a lot of loose cars at the beginning of the race. You know, when the tires start to cool, will warm up. The Indy cars will actually get pretty tight here, especially if you're sitting right behind another car.
I remember when I did the Indianapolis 500, when that rolled around, it was, you know, it got really tight late in the run, and I unfortunately hit the wall and ended my race.
Yeah, we got one guy here, probably out on track right now. That's going to be the 76 of Kevin Allen. He tried to race yesterday, Russell, but he had some issues. His power decided to go out for a quick second and cost him the whole race.
It was very unfortunate. You know, Kevin Allen's a great racer. You know, I've raced with him a lot. Well, we've raced with him a lot.
Yeah, he loves to run the Indianapolis 500 and the Dallara 18s. He races them every year, and he races them a lot. I'm not sure how these other guys are when it comes to IndyCar, but Kevin Allen is usually a front to mid-pack runner every time he does an official.
I'll tell you, you gotta watch your, you gotta keep your eye out for Kevin Allen. You know, sometimes he'll be at the back of the pack, but you know, you blink and he's at the front. Yeah,
I know we got one guy out here. He's usually dominant in the next gens and trucks. That's going to be the 53 of Will Byers. I'm going to put my money on the guy that's been dominating the IndyCar series this season. And that's going to be the 27 of Sonny. Who you got your pick tonight, Russell?
I don't know yet. If I have to pick one, I'd say Albert Reinhardt. You know, don't know how good he is in IndyCars, but no, running second with the fastest lap. I've seen him be pretty good overall, so would like to see him get a race win here at the Indianapolis 300.
You want to choose your pick for the dominant and the road courses, Richard Eisel?
I didn't even know he was in here tonight.
Yeah, he's I think he had like the 7th fastest lap. Got a couple cars ready to leave pit road for their qualifying. Got Seth Franchuk out here. Will Byers is coming out on track from Circle Pines, Minnesota. Got Caesar out here. Josiah getting ready to leave pit road. Richard Eisel now coming out on track. Trying to warm up his tires. Blake McKinley out here. Same with Sonny, Albert Reinhardt. Will Byers is going to be resetting. That means Seth Franchuk just took his green. Going into turn number 3. As you see, Seth Franchuk hard into the outside wall, breaking the nose off of that car. Checking back here with Richard Eisel on his qualifying lap. Sonny's going to take P1 as of right now with a 40.301. Richard Eisel setting a faster lap with a 39.231. Checking on Kevin. Kevin slowing down. Albert Reinhardt now taking P1 with a 39.151. Josiah currently setting P3. Check on a couple of these people that are on track. Blake McKinley sitting in P6 as of right now with a 41.39. Kyle Davidson moves up to 5th place, coming by for his 2nd lap. Looking at Kyle's paint scheme in the 18 machine, Russell, that's a pretty nice paint scheme for that Monster Energy.
He does. I like it. It's pretty good.
Kyle Davidson can do better on his 2nd lap as he's coming into turn number 4. Does he improve on his 2nd lap? He does a little bit, but still pretty slow off pace. As Joseph Dye Jr. takes P1 with a 39.093. Coming down the backstretch now for his 2nd lap. Coming out of turn number 4 now. See if he improves his 2nd lap. And he does not improve on that 2nd lap. Seth Franchuk out here. Trevor Kelly. One thing, Russell, about these cars, you can run that white line, but if you get your tires a little below it, it can get your car out of shape real quick and send you straight to the outside wall.
I know someone who did that to cause one of their races to end from the Indianapolis 500.
As you see, Seth Franchuk touches the apron, send his car around.
No, it's very easy to do that in these cars. You go to a NASCAR, the cars don't want to turn, but you go to an Indy car where you have a lot of downforce and the cars just turn on a dream. It's very, very different style of racing and how you would race Indianapolis. and you know, it's just you got to be a little more careful in an IndyCar than you do in a NASCAR, because just one little bad push in the corner in an IndyCar can also lead to the excessive tightness and the overturn down into the apron.
Indeed. If you guys hear a little bit of thunder and rattling, we got a thunderstorm outside my place right now. But you see Trevor Kelly still on track. His lap isn't going to count. He smacked that outside wall coming out of turn number 2. Got Caesar now back out on track. But one thing also, Russell, that iRacing does different from the real life is when you exit pit road, you're allowed to go above the first white line to arc it in going into turn number 2. But here, you can't do that or you'll get an unsafe pitable exit.
No, I've never really watched a lot of the, Indy races. I'll watch the Indy races, but, when it comes to really IndyCar, I really only watch the races versus NASCAR or Formula One, where I watch, practice and qualifying. So I never knew they could actually go above the white line to do that to turn 2.
Yeah, they had that last year. I think it was with Chase Elliott. He went above the first white line and got his tires above the second white line, and they got him for a unsafe pit exit, which hurt his chances of winning that race last year.
Yes, sir.
Caesar didn't improve it on his second lap. It was a good effort though with the 39.447. So Russell, do you think did you watch the IndyCar race this year?
I did.
Man, I'm hoping we have excitement for the last lap. The P2 car came out of nowhere and barely beat the car that was leading coming out of turn number 4. I think it was by a couple thousandths of a second.
Yeah, yes, sir. David Malukas was the driver that finished second. I forget the driver who won. I know it was the 60 car. I believe it was Felix Rosenquist who's in the 60 car this year. It was a great finish. Just one thing these drivers have to remember, and one thing I saw on real life that I don't think iRacing has turned into the game yet, is that push to pass was available on the Indianapolis 500 to just get a little more speed on the straight.
Usually push to pass is only for the road courses, but Felix Rosenquist was the one that won the Indy 500 with David Malukas in second. But I'm trying to see how close the finish was. See if I can find it real quick. So Felix Rosenquist won by 0.023 seconds. And he made a decisive pass in the final 50 feet of crossing the checkered, which was a pretty close gap, especially jumping out around 50 feet. As these drivers are getting ready to grid. Russell, you want to take it away?
Yes, sir. In P1, we have the 45 car of Joseph Nye Jr. In P2, we have the 25 car of Albert Reinhardt. In P3, we have the 6th car of Josiah Uneries. And in P4, we have the 97 car of Richard Eisel. And in P5, we have the 27 car of Sawney. And in P6, we have the 53 of Will Byers. In P7, we have the 76 of Kevin Allen. In P8, we have the 36 car of Trevor Kelly. And in P9, we have the free car of Cesar Diaz. And in P10, we have the 18 car of Kyle Davidson. And in P11, we have the 12 car of Seth Franchuk. And in P12, to wrap up the field, the 57 car of Blake Manelli.
As we get ready to go green, let's take a look at the weather and see if it's improved or not. Dark temp went up 1 degree. Down 1 degree. Air temp went up 1 degree. But the wind speed's a constant between 8 to 10 miles an hour. Oh, shoot, wrong button. As you see them. Is that a new pace car, Russell? No, it's the generic one. The sedan. It looked like a BMW style.
Does look like a new front end for me.
Yeah, new front end, same back end. I knew I wasn't seeing something different. Looking at that 45 machine of Joseph Dye Jr. That paint scheme looks pretty good, especially when you're looking at it from a right above the cockpit.
Yes, sir. It is a really nice paint scheme, but you know, I think the paint scheme of the week, in my eyes, I just gotta see who that is. Not 100% sure. It is the 53 of Will Byers. He's got a very nice paint scheme.
As they get ready to start, looking off the back bumper, Joseph Dye getting a good jump as they already start to spread out. You can just see everybody already spreading out. Albert Reinhardt battling on the outside of Joseph Dye. Got Richard Eisel sitting right there in third, making it 3 wide, going into turn number 3.
And Eisel makes it work.
Reinhardt looked like he backed out a bit. Looking off the front bumper of Joseph Dye, coming out of turn number 4, getting that run, jumping to the outside of Richard Eisel. Joseph Dye is going to have that momentum going into turn number 1. Will Byers already up a few positions, started 6th, currently 3rd. Looking at all these drivers going into turn number 3. These cars sound absolutely amazing.
Joseph Dye Jr. trying to shake off all the draft, as he just knows how important track position is at this track.
Yeah, especially early on. Later in the runs, he doesn't have to worry about the draft. He just has to block it, because that dirty air is not going to help the cars turn at all, especially in the turns. Try and check on a couple people back here. like the 76 of Kevin Allen, currently down a couple spots since the start of the race. Currently sitting in P9. Ooh, we got one car around. End up saving it. That's going to be the 6 of Josiah. Looks like he clipped the wall, but was able to save it, sitting behind Kevin Allen.
You know, hitting the wall here is pretty easy on cold tires, as you got no grip and you have to do a little left. Just might have thought his tires were up to the temp and, you know, went full out.
Yeah, especially in the long runs. Wrestle with that dirty area, also get your car really tight. And you would have to load up the throttle a lot just not to hit that wall to damage that suspension on the right front. Jumping up near the front, Joseph Dye took the lead back from Richard Eisel. Currently up to almost a second gap over Richard Eisel. As we still see everybody still single filed out. Looks like we might have a battle going on between the 12 and the 6. The side by side going into the 1. 12 is able to clear the 6 of Josiah. Josiah trying to battle back. Seth Branchuk got that momentum, starting to pull away. Kevin Allen making a move on Caesar. Going to turn number 3. Looked like Caesar was trying to do a crossover, but Kevin shut the door on that 3 machine. Now he's starting to pull away from Caesar, trying to catch up to the back of Trevor Kelly right in front of him. Jumping back up near the front. Looks like the top 5 are pretty spaced out. See Richard Eisel trying to still get that draft from Joseph Dye. We got another battle going on back here between the 12 and the 3. 12 was able to get around 3 of Caesar.
Looked like Joseph got really close to the wall, might have hit it on the front stretch, just tried to shake it off, and you know, I saw something. And he did, he hit the wall on the front stretch.
It didn't affect him that much because he's already up back to almost a second gap over Richard Eisel. 27 of Sonny trying to get to the back of 25 of Reinhardt. Looked like Will Byers tapped the wall. Looks like we might have another battle going on back here with these 4 guys. You got the 57-18 side by side going into turn number 1. 57 slides up, 18 gets underneath. Should be able to clear him coming out turn number 2, which he does. Going to start pulling away from the 57 of Blake McKinley. You see Caesar trying to get up to the 6 of Josiah. Let's go, Joseph. Let's check on your boy Joseph up here. Sitting comfortably in P1. With now over a second gap over Richard Eisel. Let's see if we can look off the back bumper. You can see the distance between Richard Eisel and that gap is slowly growing. Back here with Kyle Davidson and Caesar. Battle for 10th place. See the 18 getting all over the back bumper. Oh, sorry, back wing of the 3. But getting too close to the wing, Russell, will actually get you a lot tighter. Let's check up here. In 4th place, looks like we might have a battle going on between Sonny and Reinhardt. Here you see Reinhardt all over the back wing of Sonny in the 27 as he tries to tuck it in underneath but wasn't able to get there. As we still got a battle going on back here with Caesar. Looks like Caesar may have hit the wall. Caution's out for the first time. That friend Chuck crashed. Let's see if we can go back and see what happened to him. Max the outside wall. Absolutely destroyed that front suspension. Couldn't get that car to turn. Brings it to a stop and gets a tow. So what would you do, Russell? 13 laps in, 5 sets of tires. Are you coming down to get a fresh set this early? Sounds like Russell might be having some issues with his mic. It should be coming out turn number 4 shortly. We can see if we have any takers coming down pit road. As everybody starts shooting down pit road, Joseph stays out, Richard Eisel stays out, and everybody else is now coming down pit road. Kevin Allen staying out, Josiah, Kyle Davidson, Blake McKinley staying out. You see everybody coming in to get some service. Russell, you got a copy in the booth? Joseph Dye will be leading the field back to green shortly. Got Richard Eisel sitting in P2. Kevin Allen, he's moved up some spots since the start of the race. Started 7th, sitting in P3. Josiah's lost 1 spot since the start of the race. Kyle Davidson up 5 spots, sitting in 5th place. Blake McKinley up 6. But everybody from 7th on back is on fresh tires. You got Will Byers, Sonny, Albert Reinhardt, Trevor Kelly. You also got Caesar. Looks like he might have some issues going on. We should be going green next time by. Looks like to me that some people might be saving some gas looking at their gear they're in. They're sitting in 6th gear. And with Eisel, Josiah, Kevin's in 5th. Blake's in 1st. Kyle Davison also in 6th gear. Coming down the back stretch right now, getting ready to go back green. See Richard Eisel back there warming up his tires. Kevin Allen, P3. We're going to start the restart off with looking off the back bumper of the 45 of Joseph Dye. We see the pit car hitting pit road. Joseph Dye to an early jump and a huge wreck out in the back. These are up and around. If we can go back and look at what happened. Go on board with Caesar. Looks like they all checked up. And airborne he goes. Rewind that real quick. That car is absolutely destroyed. Might have to get a tow for that. Look from the chopper cam. See them try and catch back up to the front, and they just hit the brakes hard. Nowhere for those two to go, and you just see how hard Sonny goes into that inside wall while in the air. Got a couple people now lap down. It's going to be 25-12 and the 3 of Caesar. Albert Reinhardt backed out. The Franchuk. And you see how much issues that 3 machine is having. It's probably going to have to tow it back to pit lane. Josiah coming down pit road. Sonny as well. Seth Franchuk down pit road. In my opinion, it's too early to take tires. You definitely did get railed, Caesar. And man, you went for one hell of a ride into that inside guardrail. Not guardrail, the fencing. Sorry. Seth Franchuk still sitting on pit road. Not sure if he's having some issues going on. Trevor Kelly. Wonder if something happened to him. If we go back and figure out what happened to him. Go back a little bit further. It looks like he was limping his car all the way around. As the 3 Caesar is officially out of the race. Going back green, we're going to look from the cockpit view of Kevin Allen when we go green. See what he sees on this restart. That makes me wonder, is Joseph Dye going to jump the start early as soon as the pace car ducks down pit road? On board with Kevin Allen. That green flag is back in the air. Kevin a little late going into 3rd gear. Joseph Dye all the way out to an early lead up to 2 seconds, or 0.2 seconds. But Richard Eisel sitting right behind, closing in to the back bumper of Joseph Dye Jr. As Joseph Dye is now starting to increase that lead up to 0.4 seconds, breaking that draft from Richard Eisel. Checking back here a little bit, see what's going on between these drivers. Kyle Davidson up to 4th place. Started 10th. Up 6 spots since the start. Looks like we might have a battle going on back here between Will Byers and Josiah for 6th place. Looks like Will Byers made some contact with the wall. Sonny's going to get around him as well. Look off the back bumper of Will Byers. I think he might have lost a little bit of that wing in the back. I see Reinhardt and Seth back here battling for 9th place. Will Byers possibly has a lot of damage. Checking up here near the front. Blake and Josiah trying to battle. Blake trying to fight off Josiah, trying to get that run. Josiah now to his inside, going into turn number 2. Josiah's going to have that run coming out as Blake tried to do a crossover, try to get back to his inside, wasn't able to hold it. You can see Blake starting to fall back just a little bit. You got Sonny closing into his rear bumper or wing as well. See if we have another close battle going on right now. Kevin Allen trying to close back into the back bumper of Richard Eisel. He's not that far off as you hear him just tap the wall. On board with Richard Eisel. See, I'm still trying to keep that draft of the 45. Kyle Davidson, Josiah back here battling for fourth place. Got Blake and Will back here battling for 7th place. See those two trying to battle. You see Reinhardt getting around. Looks like Sonny trying to make some positions, trying to get his lap back. We got a battle going on for 4th right now. Josiah got around Kyle Davidson. Look out the back bumper of Josiah. Trying to pull away. You can see Kyle back there. Looks like he's getting a little tight. Sonny's sitting up here by himself, currently in 6th. Scooting up through the field, see if we got anything going on between these drivers. See, Kevin Allen has closed in a little bit on the 97 Richard Eisel. Joseph Dye is now up to 1.6 seconds over Richard Eisel. Sound like Joseph Dye may have touched the wall a little bit. Just see the gap between the 1st and 2nd place car. Coming back here a little bit. Everybody's still single filed out for the most part. Apparently no battles going on right now. Joseph Dye leading. Let's take a look at the race analysis so far. We'll recap. Joseph Dye Jr. is still your leader. 2 cautions for 6 laps, 2 lead changes. Looks like Kevin Allen has fallen off the back bump. Will wing off the Eisel. Kyle Davidson falling back off of Josiah. But you got Albert Reinhardt right behind Davidson. Will Byers up there by himself. Blake McKinley. Got the 12 and 36 starting to battle. The 12 getting to the outside wall. That's going to be Seth Franchuk. On board with Joseph Dye. Just seeing him run around in 5th gear. Richard Eisel running around 6th gear. That might be hurting Richard Eisel running around 6th gear while Joseph Dye is downshifting into the turns and upshifting to 6 on the straightaways. Kevin Allen has gotten closer to the back bumper of Richard Eisel. So we have another battle going on between Kyle and Josiah. And that gap is now up to 3 seconds over Richard Eisel. Trevor Kelly down pit road. Looking off the front of Josiah, you can see how far back he is from third place. Just exiting turn 3. But you can just see, looks like Joseph dives down pit road. Kevin Allen down pit road as well. That's going to put Richard Eisel up to first place. Blake McKinley around on pit road. See if we can go back and see what happened to McKinley. That car is absolutely destroyed. Let's see what happened to him real quick. Coming down pit road, locks up the brakes and smacks the inside wall. Bonnie's sitting in P3 right now. Richard Eisel on pit road. Kevin Allen in front of Joseph Dye. You can see how far back Joseph Dye is. He's going to have that clean air. Richard Eisel now just leaving pit road. You see Richard Eisel about to go into turn number 2. But you got Kevin back here with a full head of steam. Will Kevin be able to make it around Richard Eisel? Richard Eisel going to be holding on to first place after pit cycles. Josiah is currently leading. Kyle Davidson second. Sonny sitting in third. Will Byers in P4. Kyle Davidson coming down pit road. Josiah, Sonny will stay out. Blake McKinley down pit road. So now the question is, when do these 3 people pit? So that's going to cycle out Richard to the lead. Come out turn 4, Sonny. Josiah will still stay out. Go on board with Joseph Dye. Joseph Dye has fallen back off the back wing of Kevin Allen. I'm not sure if he's trying to conserve tires. And you see him running around 5th gear the whole track, trying to keep his RPMs up, try to get the momentum out of the turns. Josiah is still staying out, currently your leader. Sonny back by 4.5 seconds. Will Byers a little bit back off of Sonny as well. Let's see if we can see how far back they are from each other. I don't think I have that option. Kevin Allen still about the same distance from Richard Eisel. Now looks like Joseph Dye is starting to barrel down on Kevin Allen, closing that gap up. See if we got any battles going on back here. You got one between the 12 and 18 with Seth Franchuk, Kyle Davidson. On board with Kyle Davidson. See him getting that draft coming down the back stretch. He's probably going to jump out, which he does, getting alongside him. Going to turn number 3. They're still balanced side by side. Kyle Davidson was able to get around Seth Franchuk or P8. Next battle is up here between Joseph Dye, Kevin Allen, as Joseph Dye is still closing that gap between Kevin Allen. Josiah ended up pitting. Gonna be coming back into 8th place, which means Sonny is gonna be your leader. Will Byers second, only 1.6 seconds back. The Franchuk has fallen back off the back bumper of Kyle Davidson. Joseph Dye looks like he's hasn't gained or lost anything from Kevin Allen. Sonny's still leading, starting to pull on Will Byers. Josiah back here in 6th place with the freshest tires. Albert Reinhardt back on the lead lap as well. Currently about 6 seconds behind 6th place of Josiah. Sonny up to a 2.2 second gap over Byers. There you see Kevin Allen starting to close into the back bumper of Richard Eisel. Joseph Dye. Joseph Dye is falling back a little bit off of Kevin Allen. You know, if there's anything going on back here, which it doesn't look like there's anything going on. Albert Reinhardt up there, currently sitting 7th all by himself. Same with Josiah. Closest battle right now is between Will Byers is now down pit road for his service. Sonny's still staying out. See Richard trying to disrupt the draft, trying to keep Kevin further behind. As that gap is still closing. Look off the back wing of Richard Eisel. That gap is not increasing or decreasing as of right now. Donnie's still out. Got Will Byers sitting right behind him, currently down one lap. Albert Reinhardt down pit road, about to go back down another lap. Will Byers is on the inside of Sonny, getting around him, getting his lap back the hard way. Joseph Dye has fell off again. Not sure if he had some issues with the tightness of his car. See if we can see when the last time these people pitted in the top 5. Sonny has stayed out for now on 30 laps. Richard Eisel 14, Kevin Allen 15, same with Joseph Dye. Josiah pitted about 8 laps ago. Kevin Allen touching the wall. Joseph Dye still falling back. Franchuk down pit road. Trevor Kelly exiting pit road. Now will Albert Reinhardt get to Trevor Kelly? Oh, actually no, that's wrong. Trevor Kelly still behind Albert Reinhardt. Kyle Davidson running up here by himself. Will Byers. Kevin Allen starting to fall back off the rear of Richard Eisel. Lonnie's still staying out as he now comes down pit road, which is going to put Richard Eisel to the lead. Joseph Dye is still losing ground on Kevin Allen. As going through the field, we don't have any battles going on right now. As Richard Eisel now is the leader here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Kevin Allen only 1.1 seconds back. You can see him closing that gap down on the straightaways, but he loses it in the turns. Richard Eisel over a second behind, Joseph Dye over a second behind Kevin Allen. You see it's like 36 trying to get around, looks like Kyle Davidson possibly. Albert Reinhardt currently sitting in P8. See Albert Reinhardt clip that curb, getting him a little loose. You don't want to do that here at Indianapolis because it can send your car straight to the outside wall. Kevin Allen's closed that gap down to under a second now. Trying to catch back up to him. Go back on board with Kevin Allen. They're running about the same speed. Kevin 224. Richard Eisel 219. Still bringing that gap down, coming down the backstretch. As he looks like he might have had a bad exit coming out of turn number 2. The gap started increasing as we got some action going on back here. These 3 cars are not for position. You just see how tight Trevor Kelly was going into turn number 3. Bonnie starting to close on to the rear of 53 of Will Byers. Richard Eisel still leading here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Kevin Allen still trying to close into the rear bumper of that 97 machine. Let's do a crank it up version for the Indy cars for a lap real quick. Back here with Sonny, currently 6th place. Still about a second behind Will Byers, but slowly reeling him in. So you got a lap car right in front of Will Byers. Is Will going to be able to get around him easily, or is it going to hold up and let Sonny get back to the back bumper? You see how much Sonny has gained going down that back stretch. Kevin Allen has now fallen back to 1.2 seconds off of Richard Eisel. Joseph Dye trying to close in on him as well. But the closest battle right now is between Will and Sonny. Sonny's still trying to close him in. Richard Eisel up to 1.2 seconds over Kevin Allen. Looks like Joseph Dye starting to reel Kevin Allen in as well. Back here with Sonny and Will. Looks like Sonny is starting to fall back. Who's that car in front of those two? It's going to be Trevor Kelly. Looking off the right, well, the back of Trevor Kelly. Josiah up here in P4. Richard Eisel now down pit road. Joseph Dye ducks down pit road 2. Kevin Allen is your new leader at Indianapolis. As these two are now just hitting their pit boxes. Will Kevin Allen beat them? Come out of pit road, putting them a lap down. Or is he going to duck off this time by 2? You see Kevin Allen staying low. He's going to pit this time by. That's going to put Josiah up here to the lead. Will Byers staying out, got around Trevor Kelly. Sonny trying to get around Trevor Kelly as well as Trevor Kelly stays high. Couldn't get to the rear. Well, the inside of Trevor Kelly. See him get around, ducks right in front to get that arc into the corner. Being stuck behind him hurt him a little bit. Will Byers was able to pull out. Josiah now down pit road. Kevin Allen now sitting pit road. Let's see where these two guys are at. See Kevin Allen's gonna fall right behind those two. You see Joseph Dye in front of Richard Eisel. Going to be the leader after the pit cycles end. See Joseph Dye trying to disrupt that draft. Not sure what happened to Richard Eisel. Slowed down way too much getting into that turn. Look off the rear of Joseph Dye. Just still disrupting that draft between Richard Eisel. Will Byers is still your leader. Sonny in second. 1.1 seconds back. Kyle Davidson then third. But this is the main battle we got to watch out for between these three people. There's going to be a battle for first, second, and third. You see Joseph Dye still disrupting that draft. Only about 0.5 seconds ahead of Richard Eisel. Kyle Davidson now down pit road. Sonny and Byers still staying out. Still a three-way battle going on for this lead. Kevin Allen starting to fall back. Richard Eisel still closing in to the back of Joseph Dye. Still see him trying to disrupt that draft between him and Richard. Coming down the front stretch. Richard Eisel still over the back wing of Joseph Dye. Kevin Allen still falling back a little bit. That dirty air is really hurting him. As you just see them zigzagging all the way down the back stretch. Will Myers still staying out. Same with Sonny. But looking at the gap, Joseph Dye still losing time on the leaders. Let's see when they last pitted. Will Byers 23, Sonny 18. Joseph Dye last pitted 7 laps ago. Looks like Richard Eisel might have fallen back a little bit off of Joseph Dye. Go back and check on a few drivers that we haven't talked about for a little bit. Kyle Davidson running out here by himself. Seth Branchuk, Albert Reinhardt. Only about 5 seconds back from the next spot. That gap is starting to increase between the Joseph Dye and Richard Eisel. These two, I'm surprised they're staying out this long. As they do not elect to come down pit road. Makes me wonder if they have to make at least one more stop and the guys behind possibly 2 stops. See Richard Eisel starting to fall back more off of Joseph Dye. Kevin's still falling back as well. Who's that? Sitting right behind those two. It's gonna be the 6. Josiah starting to chase down Kevin Allen. Will Byers still out, same with Sonny. Coming to lap 74. Those two still staying out. As it still looks like the 6 machine still closing in on the back of Kevin Allen. Down in the cockpit of Josiah. Check on Albert Reinhardt, 7th place. Will Byers down pit road. Lonnie stayed out. Josiah is starting to barrel down on the back of Kevin Allen. You see him getting really tight going into turn number 1. Going to kill his momentum. Will Byers going to fall back behind Albert Reinhardt in the 7th. Back up here with Josiah. Sonny's still out. Albert Reinhardt down pit road. Sonny's still staying out as well. Checking on with Josiah. Starting to lose a little bit of time off of Kevin Allen. Richard Eifel looks like he's starting to gain back onto the back of Joseph Dye Jr. As you see these two now side by side. Look out the rear bumper of Joseph Dye. Richard Eifel had that huge momentum going down the front stretch, but lost all that momentum by the time they hit the back stretch. Looking out the back of Kevin Allen. See the 6 of Josiah just lurking back there. Check on a couple people back here. Got Kyle Davidson trying to chase down Seth Franchuk for 7th place. As these 4 are the main battles to watch right now. Sonny's still staying out. Last pitted 28 laps ago. So Sonny should be pitting pretty soon. While we take a look at this battle going on in the back between these 4 drivers, let's take a look. That's the fastest 5. Trevor Kelly's at the top of the board. Currently 3 laps down. Lonnie is running a 41.56. Kevin Allen 41.72. Josiah 41.72. Richard Eisel 41.74. That means he's still closing in on Joseph Dye. Lap leaders: Joseph Dye 31, Lonnie 19, Richard Eisel 12, Will Byers 11. Josiah 7. Kevin Allen had led 1 lap. Biggest mover, Sonny's up 4. Currently sitting in P1. Seth Franchuk up 3. Kyle Davidson up 3. Kevin Allen up 3. And Blake McKinley, which is out of the race, is up 1 spot. As these 4 are still battling. Oop, wrong one. Kevin Allen's now over the back of Richard Eisel. like we were talking about earlier in the broadcast, you don't want to be right on the back of them in the turns because it's going to make your car just super tight. You just hear Richard Eisel just lightly graze the wall going into turn number 3. Sonny's still up here in first place, all by himself with a 30-second gap over P2. As he now comes down pit road for his service. Let's go back and check on these group of guys back here. Here you see Kevin fell off the back of Richard Eisel. Richard catching up to the back of Joseph Dye as he takes the lead back. Who's that? Sitting right behind the 6th. It's going to be Will Byers working his way back up. On board with Will Byers. Starting to catch the back of Sonny. The 6th machine actually. Sonny's about 10 seconds, well, almost 11 seconds back from Will Byers. As we're going to take a look off of Joseph Dye, it looks like he has some company in the 97 of Richard Eisel. No feeder. You did the failing? Man, that's mean. What happened to you, Reinhardt? As you got a nice group of people back up here. 5 cars over here battling. As we're going to take a look at this battle brewing up back here between Will Byers and Josiah. This is a battle for 4th. On board with Will Byers. See him getting a little tight. Entering turn number 1. Still getting tight coming into turn number 2. On board with Josiah. Kevin Allen now chasing down Richard Eisel again. Brought that gap closer. Joseph Dye is still leading. Let's take a recap so far. Joseph Dye still your race leader. 2 cautions, 6 laps, and 11 lead changes so far this race. Take a look at the weather. Track temp has fallen down to 108 since the start of the race, which was 111. Go on board with Richard Eisel. Starting to close that gap on Joseph Dye. You see him hit the curb, getting tight. Will Byers got around Josiah for 4th place. Chasing down Kevin Allen for P3. You can see Will Byers right there waiting for Kevin Allen to make a mistake to get 3rd place away from him. Let's look off of Kevin Allen's back wing. Richard Eisel now closing into the back of Joseph Dye. As Joseph Dye brought that gap back up to almost a second now. Will Byers still back here battling with Kevin Allen for 3rd place. Go back on board with Will Byers. You see Joseph Dye jumps down pit road. Will Byers is going to jump to the inside of Kevin Allen. Able to clear him coming out of turn number 1. Now who's next? Come down pit road, 30 laps to go. Does Sonny have enough to make it to the end? Joseph Dye now just leaving pit road. As these drivers stay out. Richard Eisel now the race leader. Will Byers 2nd, Kevin Allen 3rd, Josiah 4th. Looks like Josiah might be chasing down Kevin Allen. You can see last lap Josiah ran a faster lap than Richard Eisel. Kevin Allen now come down pit road. Same with Richard Eisel. It's going to put Will Byers to the lead. Josiah sitting back there in 2nd with a 1.4 second gap between these 2 drivers. Lonnie out here as well, sitting in P3. But you can just see the speed difference between Sonny and Josiah. I think Sonny might be saving, trying to make it all the way to the end. Kevin Allen, Richard Eisel coming out. Joseph Dye has a huge gap over them now. Kyle Davidson up 6 spots, sitting in 4th place right now. 27 seconds back. Will Byers still leading, almost up to a 2-second gap. As you see Josiah come down pit road. Sonny's going to stay out. Look at the battle back here between these 2 guys, Richard Eisel, Kevin Allen. There's a good camera angle for you. See all the cars exiting pit road. Richard Eisel pulling away from Kevin Allen. See the 6 dropping right behind. Will Byers up to 4-second gap. Kyle Davidson down pit road. Gonna go a lap down. Bonnie's sitting back here right behind Trevor Kelly, which is 4 laps down. Richard Eisel and Josiah trying to battle it out for 4th place. And it looks like Will Byers might be pitting soon. That gap is closing real quick between these two drivers. He stays out. Sonny stays out as well. Kevin Allen starting to fall back off of Josiah. Trying to see what's going on with these other drivers at the moment. Oh, sorry for that. Will Byers still out, 23 to go. Looks like he's starting to close in on those guys that pitted, actually. The up there coming out of turn number 2 now would be Kevin Allen. Coming down that backstretch. Richard Eisel's caught back up to Joseph Dye. Got Trevor Kelly a lap car in front of these guys. That dirty air is going to hurt Joseph Dye, and that's going to bring Richard Eisel back up to him. As we got a battle going back on here with Josiah, Richard Eisel for P4. Will Byers now down pit road. Josiah hard in the wall. Caution's going to be out for the 3rd time tonight, as he has to tow that car back to pit road, see what happened. Josiah pushes tight, hits the outside wall, shoots him all the way down, destroys the rear wing, nose as well, right front tire, absolutely destroyed. And it looks like that pit stop actually helped Richard Eisel possibly. Will Byers currently being scored 2nd place. Looks like we might have some scoring issues going on. Sonny should be pitting this time by. Let's see when they last pitted. Sonny 19 laps ago, Joseph Dye 11, Richard Eisel 8, Kevin Allen 9, Will Byers 1. I'm assuming the top 4 are going to pit. And that might put Will Byers back to the lead. Sonny's down pit road. Let's see what these guys do. Joseph Dye stays out. Richard Eisel stay out. Kevin Allen down pit road. That actually might hurt Joseph Dye and Richard Eisel. Sonny should be starting P4. Kevin Allen down pit road. Should be starting P5 as well. If you take a look at that 6 machine of Josiah, that car is absolutely destroyed. Kevin Allen now coming out of pit road. That's a caution that a lot of people were actually hoping for. Going to the 6 and the 7. Their laps back. That'll be the 12 and 18. Their laps back. Josiah is still on pit road, which we should be going green next time by. Pace car lights are off. In my opinion, guys, I still think Joseph Dye and Richard Eisel should have pitted there. So let's take a look again, see how old their tires are. 1310 when they last pitted. And Will Byers, Sonny, Kevin have the freshest tires coming to this restart. As we're going to take a look off the rear of Joseph Dye coming to the restart. As Joseph Dye gets a good jump over Richard Eisel. As we're back green. See Richard Eisel trying to battle on the outside of Joseph Dye. Richard Eisel now to the outside of Joseph Dye. Wasn't able to make it stick. Looked like they made a little bit of contact. Richard Eisel trying to get around him. Joseph Dye went down the block. As Sonny's down pit road. Not sure if he had a speeding penalty or something, as they're 3 wide for the lead. Joseph Dye still leading. Byers up to second. with those pressured tires over Joseph Dye. You see Will Byers getting to the outside of him. Not going to be able to make it stick. As those two make contact coming down the front stretch, Will Byers out ahead, but he's not going to be able to clear Joseph Dye going into turn number 1. Actually, he does. Joseph Dye getting a little tight coming out of turn number 1, falling back to the clutches of Richard Eisel. Will Byers pulling out to already a half a second gap over Joseph Dye. Kevin Allen made contact with Richard Eisel. Kevin Allen up to 3rd. Richard Eisel back down to 4th. Coming down pit road. Kevin Allen trying to close into the back of Joseph Dye. You see Byers up there trying to disrupt the draft between him and Joseph Dye, up to a 0.6 second gap. Eisel and Kelly down pit road. You see Will Byers just pulling away. Just running in 5th gear all around. Will Byers up to a 0.7 second gap over Joseph Dye. Kevin Allen falling back from Joseph Dye. Kyle Davidson's up to 4th. As that gap is starting to close between Joseph Dye and Will Byers. Kevin Allen closing into Joseph Dye. Coming down the front stretch. 10 laps to go this time by. See Kevin Allen closing in to the back bumper of Joseph Dye. But it's losing all that momentum going to the turns. As you saw him do a late shift into 6th gear. Kevin Allen getting a little tight coming out of turn number 1. As Will Byers is now up to almost a second gap over Joseph Dye. Closest battle right now. Kevin Allen, Joseph Dye. As Kevin's on the inside of him. Wasn't able to make it stick. Joseph Dye getting that momentum coming out. Kevin Allen starting to fall back. See the 12 of Seth Franchuk up there. Will that lap car play a factor in what happens? Kevin Allen trying to get his momentum back, trying to catch back up to the 45 of Joseph Dye. Will Byers up to 1 second gap over these two now. 7 laps to go. See them starting to catch the frame check up there going into turn number 1. Kevin Allen looks like he's starting to fall back. Also Joseph Dye. Go back on board with him, see what he sees. Not getting that momentum in the turns. Joseph Dye is having better entry and exit, while Kevin Howland is still able to gain on him on the straightaways. As there's 5 laps to go this time by, almost coming to 4. Will Byers still leading, 1 second gap over these two. Kevin Allen's trying his hardest to get back up to Joseph Dye, but I think Will Byers has this in the bag. Coming to 3 to go this time by. Does Joseph Dye or Kevin Allen have anything for him? They're over a 1 second gap between Will Byers. Kevin Allen 0.6 seconds back off of Joseph Dye. Starting to fade in the later runs. Click off the the rear setup. I don't think they're going to catch him for the set to be a factor on what happens at the end of this race as Will Byers comes across the line 2 to go. Becoming one to go this time by. Kevin Allen looks like he's gained a little bit of time on Joseph Dye, but does he have enough to get around him with only 1 lap to go? As white flags out one more time by for Will Byers. Coming down the backstretch for the final time. Joseph Dye, Kevin Allen doesn't have anything for Will Byers. Going into turn number 4 for the final time tonight. And that will make Will Byers your race winner here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. A congratulatory bump from Joseph Dye to Will Byers. Wonder if Will Byers will do a burnout. I have not seen somebody do a burnout in the Indy cars. As he comes back to the start finish line. As Will Byers does his celebratory burnout. While we'll finish up the celebration, let's take a look at the race results. Nice picture right there. Finishing P1, leading 34 laps, is going to be Will Byers. Coming in second, Joseph Dye Jr. P3, Kevin Allen. Fourth place, Kyle Davidson. P5, Sonny. 6th, Seth Franchuk. 7th, Trevor Kelly. 8th, Richard Eisel. 9th, Josiah. 10th, Albert Reinhardt. 11th, Blake McKinley. 12th place is Caesar. Getting pole position is going to be Joseph Dye Jr. Fastest lap goes to Josiah with a 40.776. Most laps led is Joseph Dye with 41 laps. Hard Charger award goes to Kyle Davidson, up 6 spots. 3 cautions, total 9 laps. 14 lead changes by 6 different drivers. Let's see if we can get somebody in here for a interview. Man, Kevin Allen, this is a different one, being on the broadcasting booth instead of racing with you.
Yeah, a little bit different. How's it going?
Man, we were actually hyping you up in the pre-race, me and Russell, talking about how you love Indy cars, especially here at Indianapolis.
Well, I may love them, but I'm not the very best at them. But
Yeah, I saw you had a bunch of short run speed, but as later the run goes on, you just start to fade.
yeah, dirty air is just a really big deciding factor. Qualifying wasn't really good. Hung around the back, and then the first yellow I didn't pit, while half the field did, which put me up to third, and from there I really didn't fall back. It was going to be really interesting seeing how the two strategies were going to work against each other, with Will and Sandy being on his, like them pitting like 15 laps after us, and then we got that caution at the end.
Yeah.
And we went back down to get tires just to see if it would do anything, but it's nearly impossible to pass. Just even when you got fresher tires, it's nearly impossible to pass. And
Yeah, what hurt?
27 was gonna have a really good shot at winning, but for some reason he got a passing under yellow when he like when the caution came out, and we had to pass the pace car again, and he didn't pass the pace car because he was the leader. He pitted and he got a passing under yellow, so that's really unfortunate for him. He deserved to be up here.
Gotta love iRacing bull crap. But yeah, I thought Joseph had a good chance of winning it, but didn't pit under that last caution. He had like 18 lap old tires compared to Will Byers' 3 lap old tires. And I actually thought you were going to get around Joseph Dye with those fresher tires. But like you said, that dirty air was horrible.
Yeah, I feel like I was faster in terms of my tires, but again, like we've talked about time and time again, dirty air is king here, and pretty much anywhere else with IndyCar, wherever you go, dirty air is king. And get third after starting in the back and kind of yo-yoing back and forth, just staying out of trouble to do my own race, I'll for sure take it. And really cool to see these cars out here. This is a very underrated car. I don't see any leagues run this car, so when they said that they were going to be doing this here, I was like, count me in. And thankfully I didn't work tonight, so yeah, it all worked out. Thankfully my power didn't go out this time, 7 laps into it, like Thursday.
Yeah, I think I talked to somebody, I don't remember who, but I think they were trying to make this a more active series with the Indy cars.
Yeah, as long as my work schedule doesn't interfere with it, I'm definitely going to run this as much as I can. This is a really fun league and a really fun car. I'm glad they're starting to run this car too now.
Yeah, especially with all those road courses coming up every Saturday, you're definitely going to love it.
Yeah, I was telling them during the race, I haven't ran a road course on this car yet. So that's going to be interesting when that time comes around.
It's going to be pretty challenging because you get on the brakes a lot later. You can carry a lot more speed through the corners unlike the trucks.
Yep.
But if you got any shout outs, I'll get you on your way.
Shout out you, and wasn't Russell in here?
He was, but he fell ill.
Oh, well, I hope he's all right. Shout out you, Russell, for streaming this. My goodness, I'm having a stroke. Flashpoint Racing Network. Shout out to the admins at NLG for putting this on. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for broadcasting.
Oh, you're welcome. Hopefully we'll see you back either Thursday, next week on Saturday, or tomorrow in the next gens.
I'm gonna be miserable in that, but I'm gonna be there for the next gen.
Sounds like a plan. Have a good night.
You too.
All right, that was Kevin Allen. Let's see if we can get the 45 of Joseph Dye. Well, yeah, Joseph Dye Jr. in here. Joseph, you got a copy?
Oh, yes, sir.
Man, you had a dominant car, led majority of the laps. When it came down that final caution, I was actually saying that it was probably a mistake staying out on those older tires while everybody else behind you had fresher tires. What was your game plan under that last caution?
Well, actually, what happened going into turn 1 as the caution came out, the lap car went in front of me, made me aero tight, and I hit the wall and got wheel damage. And that screwed me over for the restart and everything else that happened.
That explains it. Because you were pretty quick all race, pulled away from everybody that was around you, especially Richard Eisel, which was trying to keep up with you majority of the race. I'm not sure what happened to him. Ended up finished 8th. But yeah, you think you could have done something different to try to get the win here tonight?
Just not hitting the wall there. That was all. If I wasn't so aggressive with Richard, I don't think I would have had a shot, even with everyone else coming up, especially Will. Will just had such an advantage on everyone. And of course, he was the whole race hunting us down because he had something we didn't. And that kind of just got to our heads, and we couldn't really do anything about it. Yeah,
I wasn't focusing on Will majority of the race, but he popped up out of nowhere, started passing Sonny, Kevin, Kyle, everybody, and yeah, he came out of nowhere.
Yeah, he shot like a rocket, and I guess as much as I feel like I deserved that win, he had a better strategy when it all came down to it.
Yeah. If you have any shout outs, you can get them out of the way before we send you off for the night.
Yeah, just Maniac Motorsports. Got Caesar Denise, he was in here. Joker, Jeremy Oliver, our owner. So all those guys in there, and then of course Honky on some occasions joins us. So
Alrighty. Well, you have a good night. Hopefully, you'll be back tomorrow in the next gens that we'll be broadcasting for.
all right, thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you. That was Joseph Dye finishing P2. Heard from him. He ended up with some wheel damage. Bringing up first place, which would be Will Byers, which was my pick tonight to win this thing. Will, how you doing?
Not too shabby. How about yourself?
I'm doing all right, man. You were my pick, but I didn't think you were going to win it. I know you're far back from those like top 4 cars, but you came out of nowhere, started passing them left and right. And where did you come from?
Yeah, so kind of it started the whole race kind of fell apart a little bit. I ended up that very first caution we got. I thought it was lap 13 or so. Thought it was a little too early to take tires, but I kind of want to just take gas. So I think it was me and Sonny. We both pit for just gas, and I think just starting that far back in the pack kind of screwed me up. I hit the wall a little bit, got a tiny bit of damage. I think at one point I was 20-30 seconds behind the leaders, but that running long strategy ended up working a lot better than I thought. I think just because they were in a pack the entire race and the dirty air was so bad. With those fresh tires by myself, I was just constantly 7-8 tenths a lap faster. And then I found an adjustment that worked for me with the weight jacker and the roll bars, and I thought I was one of the few cars who was actually able to make passes in dirty air. And when I originally caught them coming towards that last caution, I think I passed 4 cars to get to the lead before they pit. So I had a car that could pass and just was fast by myself.
Yeah, I was talking to Kevin. He had fresher tires more than you and Joseph, but he wasn't able to get around Joseph because of that dirty air. Would you have felt the same if he still was in the front? And I know Joseph had some wheel damage, according to him when I was talking to him.
Yeah, I think I probably could have still stayed ahead with Kevin. My car was really good, and I think even if he had gotten around me, I felt confident enough with my adjustments. I could have gotten back around him if I needed to, but my car was good. I was able to just hold it flat the entire way around, and I felt like I was on rails the whole race.
Alrighty. Well, if you got any shout outs, we'll get you down to Victory Lane where you can go kiss some bricks.
Yeah, actually, I don't know if he's here or if I'll ever hear it, but a shout out to one of my teammates, Landon Moody. He helped me out back when I ran this event last year, gave me a setup, kind of coached me through some practice, and I think that just gave me a really good advantage. So yeah, shout out Landon.
Alrighty. Well, we'll let you go, and we're going to wrap up the broadcast, and hopefully you'll be back Sunday for the next gen races.
Thank you.
Alright, guys, that will do it for the night. Tomorrow, they're running next gen. Let me see if I can find where they're running at. They're going to be doing 225 laps at North Wilkesboro, which will be a pretty exciting race in the next gen. A lot of horsepower on a short track. Might be action-packed, a lot of wrecks, but at the end, there's only one person that can win. Now, this will wrap up the stream tonight. My name is Michael Cordray. Russell Heaton had to leave early, sadly, but we'll see you guys back tomorrow for the next gen at North Wilkesboro.
Friday night, the lights are bright. The grandstands packed, the stars ignite. From the green flag wave to the final lap, every driver knows there's no turning back. The stage is set, the field is tight. Championship dreams on the line tonight. A season's worth of sacrifice and speed.